Hey everybody, welcome to Board Game Heaven. My name is Raymond, and in this video I'll be doing an unboxing of the Hero Pack 2 and the additional hero Lizz, the Medusa, for Tanares Adventures by Dragori Games. Now before I open up these boxes, I'd like to ask you to please hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, because that really does help the channel a lot. And there's also a Patreon page if you'd like to become a supporter. There's a link in the description below, and you can support me for as little as just €1 per month or more, which is greatly appreciated, and in return you will get early access to all of my videos, your name in the credits, and access to some Patreon exclusive videos as well. Alright, let's open up these boxes and see what's inside. Alright, let's start with Lizz, the Medusa. So, comes in this package, just a plastic bubble basically with the cards and the hero sheet, the miniature in the front. So let's carefully open that up. I don't think there's any, no, there's no sticky tape around the edges, so you can open it easily. I'll take out this and then all over that. There we go. All right, let's take a look at these cards first. So the cards she comes with is the Petrifying Gaze, which is the regular skill card that she has that you can keep using. So that's the skills. It's a ranged skill targeting one area, does 12 damage plus effects. That's that. Look at that art, that's pretty cool. Then we have Ophidian Hair, which is a 2 squares ranged attack. So more of a melee attack. Also targets one enemy. And then we have the elite attacks that you can only use once. A Cursed Blades attack, which is a melee attack, just 1 square away. So there's that. And there's Medusa's Head, which is another ranged attack, which can target 2 enemies and deals 16 damage per hit plus effect. It's pretty good. Here's her character card. Despair. She's a controller character. And on the back, character card. Alright, so those are her cards. Let's take a look at the hero card. So that's just the single card with the nice artwork on the back as well. Alright, and on the front here, it has these same skills again, as we know from Arena the Contest. It always has this layout with her hit points, basic attack points, defense points, and movement points listed here. Controller class, the purple class, and her passive power here, Despair, which is triggered when you hit a target on your first hit of your turn, and the effect is another enemy within 5 squares of you takes 5 damage. And that's pretty cool. And then finally, of course, the miniature itself. So let's take a closer look. She's holding her hands up. It's pretty nice. She's got some, of course, the snake hair, but also some snakes on the base there with her. She's got a nice long tail, and all these scales look really cool, very nicely detailed. Also the armor here is nice and detailed. They're her epaulettes, or what are those? Arm guards. And the spikes on the tail here, that looks really cool. So yeah, pretty cool looking hero miniature. Alright, let's take a look at the Hero Pack 2. So this is Hero Pack 2 with some cool artwork of all of these heroes on the cover. And on the back of the box you will see all the heroes that are in here. So that's quite a few. 16 hero miniatures in 7 different combat roles. And these are the reworked, newer sculpts. We saw these earlier in the first edition of Arena the Contest, and now for Tanares Adventures, they were completely resculpted with much more detail. So let's open that up and check them out. All right, that looks nice already. Look at all the colorful minis right there. So we'll just start at the top left here. So we have this character. I wonder if we also have the cards come in the new Arena de Contest box, I believe, or in the Tanares box, one of the two. I do have unboxings of all of that. You can click the eye in the corner of this video to find them, or just look on my channel. I have a lot of Tanares adventures and Arena de Contest stuff on my channel, so there's plenty of videos for you to go through. And the cards for all of these do come in a different box. These are simply the miniatures if you didn't have them yet. So I only had the original miniatures from the first Kickstarters, which is why I also got the Hero Pack 2. So this is the vampire character, and that looks really nice. Very dynamic pose. He only has one foot touching the base, and he's supported by the cape there, large billowing cape, very dynamic pose. It's very cool. And yeah, so his clothing is nicely detailed, and his hands striking out like that. And you can even see his teeth. So that's really cool. That's the first miniature. Goes in here. The second miniature here. Now, I don't know all of their names by heart, so apologies for that. They might be at the bottom of the box, but then I'd have to... Actually, I could see if I can check that out. Is that listed here? The names are there. It's very tiny, though. So, yeah, I know the Minotaur, Morlog. So the first one we checked, that's number 8 right there. So that is Count Blake, the vampire, exactly. Now we have this character, which is number 7, that's Mir, the assassin. Mir, the assassin. So there she is. Again, nice dynamic pose, leaping forward. You can even see the fishnet stockings there. I think they are fishnet stockings. I like the detail on the base as well. She's wielding 2 daggers. She's also got a big cape and hair blowing backwards. She's got, it seems, lots of little daggers. I think they're throwing knives on her chest there, on her armor. And she's got some bags. So that's pretty nice. She's got a scarf around her neck. She's got some straps around the legs. Lots and lots and lots of detail, and very dynamic. Really cool. So then we have the cutthroat here. Let's see, that is Liana the Pirate. Again, a nice pose. 2 cutlasses, and of course the 3-pointed pirate hat. And she's even got a little monkey on the base. That's new. A little monkey on the base with a treasure chest. That is definitely something new in this sculpt. Her long jacket blowing in the wind. She's got the scabbards on her hips. And it seems she has some kind of belt with what could be either little potions or grenades or something. And a pouch on her belt there. So that is the pirate. Then we have this character, which is number 12, and that is Elarine the Telepath. And that sculpt does remind me a lot of not only the art, but the first sculpt was quite similar, although this has much more detail, again with the straps of cloth there, and the hands are very small and very detailed, and the base is sculpted. So that is her. Really cool. Nice pose. They look like they have really thin legs and thin limbs, but they're actually pretty sturdy. They do give a little bit. The plastic is slightly bendy, so it doesn't break immediately if you touch it. But it looks like it can take some handling, so that's good. It's a good quality plastic. Then this is the apprentice, I believe. That's number 13. Zund, the illusionist. That's it. So here it is. And now this one also has an extra familiar on the base. Here, look at this gargoyle. Or is it this? It's a, well, it's like a drake or something. It's a winged snake, some kind of dragonkin, or maybe some kind of demon. I don't know. So because it's got a dragon's head with horns. It's got a snake body, but it's very scaled, like a wyvern without legs. And it's got these big scaly wings. Look at that. You can even see the detail of the scales on those wings. I hope that shows well on video, but that's pretty cool. Again, with a big cape, holding his wand and his book, spell book, and fire all around the base. So that's really cool. Okay, that is Zund. Then we have the Minotaur Morlog. So big mini. He's a lot more bulky than the original sculpt was. Huge hammer. Nice and spiky, big hammer. Chunky. Yeah, huge horns, huge maw there. The big horns on the pauldron. It's really cool. Again, here you see the tail. It does move a little bit, the plastic, but it's quite strong. So that's good. Look at the fur there, the sculpting on that. Also very good. There is well, it's not a mold line. It's like a two-piece miniature probably. Excluding the base, because that looks like it's separate as well. But there is a line, but it's nicely and cleanly cut across the belt. So you probably won't see much of that. You don't really see it that much as is, but when you paint it, then it's going to be hidden. So that is pretty cool. It's got some fur on the legs and on the hooves there. The tail is very detailed. It's got a big buckle on his belt. That's cool. All right, then we have this Necromancer, which is number 10, Uster the Necromancer, who looks very intimidating. He's got this magic effect on the base with skulls, like he's summoning souls out of the ground, and he's holding a skull in his left hand. He's got a skull on his belt there, or in his armor, whatever that is. He's wielding a large scythe. That is pretty cool. There it is. I love all the little screaming faces in the effect here. He's got a cape, or cloak more or less. And he's got some kind of shoulder armor there. Bit of a pauldron, it seems. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, really, really cool looking figure. I love the whole ghostly summoning effect that he's got going on the base, coming up to his hand there. It's really cool. Then we have number 15, which is Jade the Bard. Do remember that from the first game as well. I remember all of them, but mostly the ones that I've played with a bit more, because she's a bard and she has the lute, which is pretty cool. This is a bit more, again, detailed and bigger. More detail on the lute there. I think she's holding it differently as well. That's really cool. There's a lot of sculpting on that lute. I hope you can see that. Let's see if I can bring that in a bit closer. There you go. That's pretty well done. And again, some sculpting on the base. And on the clothes. There's a lot going on there on her. She's got like a bandolier around her shoulder with some things on it. Potions perhaps, a pouch on the belt. This interesting looking dagger or sword. Curved blade. And she's got the high boots, tall boots with the straps. And here's the sheath for that sword. Pretty cool. All right. Then, is that the correct way around? Maybe that way around, yes. Then we have this guy. That is number 11. That is Zanak. Oh yes, the fire sorcerer, of course. Look at all the fire effects. He's got flames on the base and flames in his hands. He has the robe with all the runes on it sculpted in. Look at that. That's really cool. That's really cool. Again, a dynamic pose. His robes are billowing in the wind as he is turning around, ready to cast a few fireballs. He's got an amulet around his neck, a clean-shaven head, and there's something hanging from his belt there, a little chain with some kind of artifact at the end of it. Super cool. All right, let's move on. Then we have this this ice sorceress, I believe. Let's see, that's number 14. Yes, Juliet, the ice sorcerer. Again, with the magic effects on the base, ice shards coming up to her left hand. And in the right, she's casting another ice spell. You can see the ice spikes there. Hair is billowing, the capes are billowing. Very, very active, and she's got a nice big snowflake there on the back of her cozy looking mantle. Furry mantle there. And yeah, it's pretty cool. There's some detailing on the legs there, on these, I guess, again, stockings of some kind. So yeah, that's pretty cool. She's got something hanging from her belt. It might be a dagger. Maybe it's just an ice shard or something, an ice pick. Looks cool. I like that detail of the fur and the snowflake here. So yeah. All right. Then we've got, let's see, this guy. That is, let's see, this one. It's number 9. Who is Nakral, the Death Knight. Nakral, the Death Knight. Really cool. Look at that sword. That is a really cool looking sword with lots of sculpting on it. There's a animal skull or something sculpted in. And all the spikes on the sword itself look really cool. And he's got one leg standing there. I think that's, is that a leg? Yeah, he's got a leg forward, right? But it's kind of hidden below all of his robes. And it looks like those robes are kind of like a magic effect as well, as if, you know, some kind of gas, something, some kind of, I would say some smoke effect maybe is coming down from his waist. It looks really, really interesting. He's got robes here, and he's got a huge cape, of course, with big pauldrons, with skulls on them. So yeah, you can't see his foot, but it looks like he's got one knee here coming forward, so he's moving, but it's hard to see with all that effect going on there. So it would be cool if this was painted like some kind of smoky effect, as if everything underneath his cloak is kind of hidden in his smoke, and you can't actually see him move. Maybe he's floating even. All right. Then we have the last one here. That's Sir Eric the Paladin. Oh yes, I do remember that guy. Again, came with the shield and the sword, but a lot less detailed in the first arena contest. And so that looks really cool, that shield. It's got a lion's face on it, surrounded by, I think, rays of the sun. And he's got heavy armor on, big sword once again. Look at all that armor, everything, every piece of him is covered in the plated armor. Super cool. Huge cape, they really like their capes. And the big sword with all the detailing in it as well. Sculpted base. So yeah. Cool looking fighter miniature. Then we have the demon here. Let's see, what was his name again? That is Tanares, the demon. A yellow miniature. So he's pointing towards his next victim. He's got a huge sword, nice and broad sword, with some skulls on it as well. And again, multi-piece miniature, so you can see a seam here. Again, something that is nicely cut off just above the belt, so that won't be visible if you paint him. And I like that, the pointy finger with the sharp nail. He's got the horns, looking real mean there. He's got the hooves, big old demon hooves, the inverted knees there, the ankles. He's got spikes on his back. He's very muscular. And he's only wearing a belt and a, well, something akin to a kilt, which is pretty cool. So yeah, super cool. Tanares the demon. And of course, if you have a demon, you also have an angel. So this is, let's see, Askaran the Archangel. More or less the same sculpt again as the first edition, be it with more detail. Also was standing like that with the wings out, but now you can clearly see all of the feathers there. Lots of details, lots of big feathers. Standing at the ready, guardian angel with his sword. And also in full plate armor. Look at all that armor. Look at all that detail. That's very cool. All right, let's take a look at the next miniature. And that is, let's see, it's this guy, number 3. That's Renkir, the Dragon Avenger, who is, of course, standing on a dragon's head, so he's already avenged. Again, another warrior in full plate armor, heavy armor there. He's got a scabbard on his back, standing on a lopped off head of a dragon, with the sword still sticking into the skull. Very nice. There's some detail on the shoulders there. He's got a smaller sword on his hip. That's pretty cool. So yeah, really good looking, nice looking miniature. I like the dragon's head there. And finally, we have the monk, whose name is Oris. Oris the monk. Look at that ponytail. That's a very long ponytail. And he's got a spear, very big looking spear. And on the spear he has this, this hair like a horse's tail. And he's running. Very, very, very dynamic pose. Super cool. Running fast, very muscular. He's got one pauldron on his right shoulder. And he's got some arm guards on. He's got a big necklace. He's got a sort of like a skirt, just like the demon did. And yeah, it's really cool. I like all that. Lots of detail going on here. Very dynamic pose. It's probably one of my favorite poses as these heroes go. He's rushing towards the enemy. All right. So that is those heroes. So that was my unboxing of the Hero Pack 2 and the Medusa Hero Pack for Tanares Adventures by Dragori Games. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And please check out my Patreon page by clicking the link in the description below or the icon at the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Board Game Heaven.